Hello, my name is Samuel Boeger, and I am the Trombone Representative here at the Atlanta Low Brass Academy. Today, we'll be talking about the GMEA All-State Band Etude Concert Band Lyrical Etude for grades 9th through 10th grade. One of the first things we should focus on for this piece is the key signature itself. When looking at the piece, we see that we are in the key of D-flat major. I highly recommend you practice your D-flat major scale as frequently as you can before working on this etude. One of the more difficult parts of this lyrical etude may just be looking at the complex time signature they give us. When at first glance, we're in 5/8, which means two things. The first being that each measure has 5 beats within it, and that the second being that the 8th note gets the beat. Though this may look difficult and more complex, it's actually not as complex as it may seem. Simply put your metronome onto 8th note or quarter note equals 76, and imagine that quarter note being the 8th note. With a nice lyrical etude, it gives us plenty of time to digest what's being given to us here and understand that it is a nice singing song. The next thing we want to look at is the musical text that's provided for us. Going back to our 8th note equals 76, we see the musical term maestoso placed right next to it. Maestoso, when translated, means majestically or presented in a stately manner. Throughout this piece, though it may seem complex and you may want to think lyrical, make sure to have a stately presence while at the same time. These should be very declamatory statements and very clear to the listener that you're making a presentation to them that should be heard with beautiful sound. Finally, let's talk about breaths and phrasing of the piece. One of the more important things is breaths. I highly recommend for young students that you have a pencil and you mark up your parts aggressively in order to make sure that you take the breaths that you had written into your piece. This builds good habits and prepares you more so for the audition later to come. Finally, with the phrasing of this piece, with it being a lyrical etude, always make sure we're striving for the best possible sound along with the most connected line throughout these notes. A lot of this piece is slurred, which is to benefit us, but one thing I think we can do more of is music as always. Though the piece has a good amount of musical content for us to digest, I think adding a few things here and there, it would be helpful for a musician. One of the key things you'll notice that I add is a pullback leading towards the end along with a fermata. Otherwise, do what's on the page usually for the most part, as this is often what the judges will be listening for, but a few things like that may be beneficial for musical points later on. I hope you found the recording and the information provided afterwards helpful and useful for you in preparation for the audition coming ahead. Best of luck on the auditions in the future.